Minnesota Democrats, media, and the Department of Justice have continually ignored strong evidence supporting the fact that Ilhan Omar may be directly involved in tax, marriage, and immigration fraud.
In 2002, Omar married Ahmed Hirsi in a religious ceremony. Hirsi is the father of Omar's 3 children and is pictured often with Omar and their children on their campaign website.
In 2016, Minnesota journalist Scott Johnson received a tip about a post from a Somali community website containing marriage certificates alleging Omar married her brother Elmi in February 2009 in order for him to immigrate to the U.S. legally, despite the fact she'd been married to the father of her children, Hirsi, over a decade.
This clearly proved that any such second marriage might be bigamous under Minnesota law as well as fraudulent.
Later in August 2016, further investigations into legal documents and filings in Minnesota by journalist Priya Samsundar uncovered evidence supporting the allegation that Ilhan Omar married her brother, Ahmed Nursed Elmi, in 2009.
The 2009 marriage license to Elmi lists the same address as one filed for a Minnesota business 3 months later in May 2009 for a one-to-one cafe by Hirsi, the father of Omar's 3 children.
That means Ilhan Omar was living with both her real husband Hirsi while still married to her brother Elmi.
Omar has continued to deny the allegations, dismissing them as baseless rumors and fake journalists on bigot blogs despite mounting evidence.
High school record evidence also support the claim that Elmi is indeed her brother and graduated in 2003 from Arlington Senior High School in St. Paul, Minnesota, with enrollment records that state he was born April 4th, 1985, the same birth date listed on Omar's 2009 marriage certificate to Elmi.
As troubling details mounted against Omar, members of the Somali community were threatened into silence through intimidation tactics and physical violence on themselves and their families still back in Somalia. In an obtained Facebook Live video from August 18, 2016, a woman identified as the Associate Chair of the Somali American Caucus speaks. And in translation, she states in plain terms that any Somali that talks about Omar's personal life, including marriage discrepancies, is an enemy of the Somali community. Credible sources in the Somali community have stepped forward and provided Alpha News with information in exchange for anonymity, along with members of the 2003 class have also identified Elmi's father as
Nursed Elmi Mohammed, the same man who calls himself father to Ilhan Omar.
One member of the Somali community revealed a man named Gulad Hashi to Alpha News and identifies him as campaign muscle. He states, Hashi serves as Omar's muscle in the Somali community and has been leading a witch hunt to out the snitch in the community. Hashi is well connected in Somalia and recently ran for a position as a member of parliament in Somali's federal government. Alpha News obtained a screenshot of a Facebook post by Hashi. Another member of the Somali community stepped forward to help translate. Hashi writes, Somalis say those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Who knows who owns this website Somali Spot? Who knows who posts on it? Soon I will expose all, and I promise if you don't stop what you're doing, we won't stop until you have nowhere to hide. As one source described the threats to silence the community, I very much doubt any Somali will publicly come forward and speak out about the story, not only because of the repercussions they could face here in Minneapolis, but also because of the potential harm doing so could bring to their loved ones in Somalia. There is no rule of law there. It is no coincidence that this was first exposed on an anonymous Somali forum. More evidence uncovered by journalist David Steinberg and others have proved that Ilhan Omar committed bigamy and married her brother Elmi to skirt immigration laws.
University officials confirmed that both Omar and Elmi attended North Dakota State around the same time. School records show that Omar attended the university from 2009 to 2011, and Elmi attended from 2010 to 2012.
And get this, while Omar was married to her brother Elmi, and both attended college at the North Dakota State University, her real husband, Hersey, the father of her children, made the move with them.
In a news article from September 2013, Hersey is identified as Omar's husband, as reporter Sarah Lam states, after having started their daughter, Isra, in kindergarten in Minneapolis. Omar and her husband, Ahmed Hersey, moved to North Dakota so that Omar could finish her bachelor's degree in political science.
Omar claims her relationship only lasted with Elmi from 2009 to 2011, but research by David Steinberg records multiple addresses in North Dakota with Omar living with her real husband Hersey during this time.
In late August 2016, Priya Samsundar reached out to Elmi through a discovered email address found on a resume posting website and confirms his identity in photos. He writes back, "I have been inundated with requests for information on the back of an article you wrote about someone called Ilhan Omar. The photographs you have on your article are certainly me, but in no way am I affiliated with anyone in your articles, nor do I recall being married to anyone. I wish you all the luck in finding what you're looking for."
Elmi confirms that photos on his Instagram and photographs from articles were indeed him. He also states that photos on his Instagram are of his family members. That would include another post dated May 4th, 2013, with girls referred to as #nieces, and liked by Omar's Instagram account herself.
After the brief media speculation in Omar's marriages and allegations of fraud, in December of 2017, Omar quietly petitioned to divorce Elmi.
Journalist David Steinberg reported more critical evidence from Omar's 2017 divorce filing, in which Omar petitioned for a default divorce, attesting she could not locate Elmi since 2011.
Since social media photos suggest otherwise, and with confirmation with Elmi himself, this adds another allegation. Ilhan Omar has since signed off on apparent falsehoods under penalty of perjury.
A tremendous amount of evidence has proven that Omar has perjured herself 8 times with her 9 answers. On the form, Omar swears her most recent contact with Elmi was June 2011 in London. She attests that she had tried unsuccessfully to reach Elmi to respond to the court filings, including through social media.
Another post on Elmi's Instagram on October 20th, 2013 shows himself in a hospital following minor surgery. His hospital bracelet identifies his date of birth to be April 4th, 1985. Commenting on it is a known second Instagram account belonging to Ilhan Omar herself. She writes, "I've been calling and no one will answer. I hope you are okay."
Long after June 2011, she was clearly in contact with Elmi, and social media posts provide proof of their interaction and her lies. Further, Priya Samsundar was able to contact Elmi, published how she managed to contact him, and published his email where he admitted to being photographed with Omar in London of 2015. An Instagram post now deleted. DFL activist and Minneapolis city worker and former neighbor of Elmi, Barb Lickness, has also confirmed Elmi's identity in the same photo.
Another photo dated June 12, 2012, from his Instagram are of Elmi with Ilhan Omar's then newborn daughter, with the caption that reads, "Nieces, fresh out of the Omar's youngest daughter was born in 2012. Clearly he calls this child his niece. Keep in mind, Omar attested in court that she has had zero contact with Elmi since 2011.
Lying on a sworn form is perjury, and each charge carries 5 years in prison according to Minnesota law. To be clear, Omar was legally married to an Ahmed Nursaid Elmi at the time she was photographed next to a man who admits his name is Ahmed Nursaid Elmi. These now deleted postings appear to disprove Omar's claim that she couldn't divorce her brother Elmi because she didn't know where he was.
This Make America Great Again hat is just as maddening and frustrating and triggering for me to look at as a KKK hood.
What real Americans say they're gonna move to another country if a certain person get voted president? You ain't no real American. You know what that makes you? A liberal. Anyways, what you doing? I ain't buying it. Trump 2020. Hey, make America great again. Yeah.
Right now, we have people in Congress that hate our country. Right now, right now, we have people in Congress that hate our country.